There we are. Okay, perfect. Doing this simultaneously is literally the most impossible thing to do, to have it start at the same time. But what's up, guys? We are doing a live listening session to everybody's tracks. What up, Maz? I see you in there. Hope everything is well. Let me know. I was going to message you earlier this, I guess, morning for you, but to tell me how everything went as far as the deal you were working on. So I'll talk to you later about that. Huh? Wifey says hi. So we are going to be listening back to a bunch of tracks on the Discord. Last week we couldn't do it because my brother got married. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go to the feedback channel. We got a bunch in here. I got to scroll all the way up to see where we left off and get busy. Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend. And, yeah, awesome. Awesome. I think we did Tenor Murphy's. I'm looking for the, there it is. I left a time emoji. So this is what we got first. We got a Kid Ray. This one's called Kryptonite. If you guys want to submit, make sure that you send some stuff over to the Discord link, and as long as it's clean, as far as with lyrics, we'll listen to it and I'll give you my reviews. Oh, Kenobi's in here. What up, bro? All right. Let's pull up the first track.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body laying somewhere in the sands of time, but I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. I fear there's nothing I can do. Yeah. I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. I really don't mind what happens now and then, as long as you'll be my friend to the end. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman mind. And kryptonite. You call me strong, you call me weak, but your secrets I will keep. You took for granted all those times I never let you down. You stumbled in, you bumped your head. If not for me, then you'd be dead. I picked you up and put you back on solid ground. Hey.
Okay, so I try to give everybody a minute 30, just a bit, make sure everything's fair. Appreciate the likes. Thanks, guys. It took too long to get to the chorus, and then for sync licensing purposes, you might want to make sure that you have all the who are these? This is let me see here. This is a kid, and I guess this is a cover. That was what I was going to get to, was that, like, if you're working on covers, you, especially for sync, you got to make sure that you have the written consent to send it in for a sync license, because you might own the master because it is a cover, but you don't own the composition side. That's what you need permission for. But I mean, this is a cool track. I think that I mean, me personally, I would like a little more kick just to kind of keep the energy going, but the intro probably needs to be cut in half as well. With sync, you want to try to get to the point as quickly as possible. We got some, he said mechanical rights, ended up getting to push through. Oh, nice. Awesome. Three Doors Down. Yeah, Kryptonite. That was the track. Where you send tracks. If you send tracks, we have an open Discord until the end of the month that I will have open for everybody, even if they haven't purchased the class yet. Eventually, we're going to close it, and then everybody that has access to the class can pitch. So come through, join. Link is in the bio. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna do Kenobi's real quick because he had hit me up about this earlier and I couldn't get to him. So let me go to, this one was cool. Let me find Kenobi real quick. Gosh, we got a bunch of stuff in here today. This is awesome. I think this is his right here. Let's check this out. I think it was a trailer. In a world 3 doors down. Okay, so this one would be cool. I specialize in trailers, so I'm gonna chop this one up. The intro, each section feels a little bit long. I think what would kind of give it more playback value is if you added the trailer edits. So your whooshes, your slams, especially when it gets to the climax right here. I would definitely, let me see if I can play back real quick. Yeah, around here. Extra toms, big percussion would help this make the story sound like larger than life, and that's what we want to do with trailers. So I would definitely add your trailer elements around this, and give the music editors more points to edit their videos toward. So nice job on that. Let's go back to the list here. I keep thinking that we already, oh, it's because he sent in something twice. Okay, cool. Let's check out JG's song idea. We are actually,
I'm cool as a glass of lemonade on a summer's day, kicking back in the shade. Working this clock so bills are paid. You can't run in the race, making minimum wage. Dreams abroad, I'm pulling blessings from the heavens. Father, forgive me, I'm trying hard, learning lessons. Started in the hood, then school playing ball. Fuck sports, now I'm hustling in school trying to ball. Investments invested, my stock getting tall. I can feel I'm finna blow and I'm just waiting on that call. Till that moment, man, I'm on it 24/7 for real, son. Living life with no regrets, I'm thinking past millions. I'm cool as a glass of lemonade on a summer's day, kicking back in the shade. Working this clock so bills are paid. You can't run in the race, making minimum wage. No, you can't, baby. You think I'm just gonna be some job turkey out here living check to check with no respect? You crazy. Empire mindset, incline hustle. Previously timid, now I grind with the muscle. Small teams, cause niggas wanna shine without the struggle. No friends, my familiar with me when the nigga bubble. My brother talking keys, give me cheese if it double. If you ain't affiliated, then G's, you in trouble. Boy getting buzzed like the bees, I ain't stutter. Believe on the beat, I'm a bad motherfucker.
Woo! That ain't bad. I don't know who produced this, but it sounds amazing. The only thing I would make sure you would watch out for is the sampling. Even if it isn't a sample, that's even better because it has the sampling effect, the chops and stuff, which are great. One All I would suggest on this is just make sure that you have you have all those samples cleared, because most music supervisors don't pitch or don't pick up a lot of boom bap hip hop that feels like it has samples in it, because they just don't want those problems legally. So like I would just make sure that you have that covered. And bro, like the even your not just your flow, but your lyric choices are perfect for sync, because it's something relatable that most human beings can kind of understand. You know what I'm saying? Which is great, because it comes off with the swagger of your flow. Like you're not trying to impress anybody. You're telling a story, which is great. Facts. How should I get started if I want to make music? If you want to make music, what I would suggest that you do is I guess the best thing that I would suggest is to probably just start with working on learning piano. From there, you can kind of do anything. Go grab a DAW. There's a bunch of free ones out there, GarageBand. I know there's a bunch of intro versions of DAWs that you can start with too, and just start experimenting. Christopher's in the house. What up? Your class was great last weekend. Appreciate it. Let's get you a publishing deal, my friend. That is the whole goal. So like now you have all the information. Anybody that has taken the class, let me know if there's something else I can do to improve it, so that I can make sure that everything's cool and gravy with the experience. Okay, now we got Can here. He's got something we're gonna listen to. This is a WeTransfer, which is cool, but I highly recommend using a what is it called? Something. Oh, see, this is what happens with WeTransfer, is that it's expired, unfortunately. So this happens whenever we have a here. Let me move it so that everybody on the screen can see it. Say a music supervisor, because this happens on a very, very often basis, more than not. Is you'll send something, but like if they need it now and they actually gave you the chance to listen to it, and this happens, you just lost out on hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly. So WeTransfer is cool for sending stems if somebody's already looking for them, but if not, like we're kind of up a creek. So if you want to resend this with a SoundCloud link or some other type of link, that would be helpful. Just word to the wise when you're pitching. Let's go to the next one. We got Lost here. It's an MP3 attachment. Okay, where we going?
If you find a way, come and let me know. When you find a way, someday I'll let go. I get a little bit lost. 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 Wish I could put my phone. Need a light to cut me home. Only smile when I smoke. That's the marrow in my bones. If your lover puts you down, burn that lover to the ground. Now it's over, now I'm older. If you lost and play it loud. You wanna say I could.
Yo, this right here. This is great. I love it. The only thing I would suggest is to maybe like shorten the intro by like half. Outside of that, this sounds really, really cool. Artistic decision, I would maybe give an extra second or so on the reverb or delay on the main vocal voice, just so it sounds more cohesive with the rest of the track. Give it some more space and depth. But I loved what you did with the mixing on this. It sounds amazing. Another thing you could do to give it more moments, you already have a couple going on here, which is great, but the more the merrier when it comes to sync. I would definitely add like maybe a LFO rhythm or something on that bass, so it has some type of like extra. I don't know if this is unreleased. This is It's in our Discord. It's called Lost. Man, that was cool. I really like that. We got some heat up in the Discord. I'm telling y'all. If you want to have a song reviewed for sync licensing purposes, join the Discord. Toss in a link, and a preferred link would be something from either SoundCloud and or Disco, because we're trying to mimic pitching our music to a supervisor. So come through. The Discord is going to be free until the 1st of April to get in. At least it's going to be privated. We live stream at least once or twice a week. This is a bop. Oh my goodness. Good Lord. That was really, really cool, and could easily work on a Apple commercial or a product ad. Easily. The only thing I would recommend you do is have something at least a little bit more consistent as far as a melody is concerned, so that like an average listener would be able to kind of follow along, and then have all these quirky things to kind of interrupt the beat. I think that would be really awesome. And then the low end sounded a little weak. That could have been artistic choice. But if you really had a really girthy, nasty 808 come in where you're having those bass hits, like it would give so much more juxtaposition between the sweet and quirky stuff that you have as far as Foley and stuff is concerned, versus the just huge bass sound when it comes in sporadically. So like, gosh, I love stuff like that. That is really, really cool. Save someone. Nice job on this. You have a question. It seems like you've seen sync stuff. Does that apply to actual songs too? It can, yeah. It makes it more marketable as well, which is cool. Where do we find the Discord link? The link is in the bio. Yeah. Awesome. Let's keep going. We got more heat in here, and I got until 3 o'clock my time. So I want to try to get through as much as possible. We got a Google Drive link. Let's see if this works. Google Drive for sync licensing is not cool, because if there's if I got to log in and do all this kind of stuff, like they're not normally going to let me in. This time it did, but normally, if say for instance I went to another site or another Google login and didn't have access to my one at work, like I couldn't get the song and no placement for anybody. So Google Drive is cool, but I'd recommend stuff like Disco just because it's easier. Oh, and this is another thing. They do not like downloading things onto their computer, but I'll do it just for you. Just for you. I'm going to pull it up on Finder here. And this is, what's it called? Never on My Own, Rough Mix. Check it out. How many songs are in the queue? yeah, I would be extremely careful with this one because the melody sounds really, really close to something that's already out there. And a music supervisor, like all they do is listen to music. So like they're gonna pick on that. They're gonna pick up on that very, very quickly. And so I wouldn't say that it would be. I mean, if you're using this as a track to kind of understand production, like by all means, it sounds great because it was recognizable. But outside of that, I would not pitch that for sync, just because like it's obviously a it's too close to a carbon copy. Can you pitch a song for sync even if they're not released? Yep, that's actually even more preferred. Totally. Let's see here. Do we have any other questions before we keep moving on to the next one? Yeah, we have like 20 songs in the queue. I missed a week last week, so we got to go through these relatively quickly. But if this is helping you guys, double tap the screen, subscribe if you're on YouTube. We're gonna keep going. We got McGrillix here. Check out what he's got here. Chances.
Well, I can feel it in the air. The trade wind slowly blowing, and you can see it everywhere. Yes, security they've stolen. We said we must be prepared. Misunderstood but fully aware. To victory, that's where we go.
No, we are not doing any cue skips, unfortunately. I don't have a way to set that up to make it fair for everybody. But at the moment, we're going through McGill Jackson. I would challenge you, McGill. This is an interesting song. I would challenge you to add more moments to this track. What I mean by that is you could use ear candy, you can use different transition sounds and things of that nature to kind of pull the listener's ear on the journey. How you submit for the next time. There is, if you're on Discord, there is a live feedback stream channel on your left-hand side. If you're on YouTube, go to my YouTube, I can actually show you on the screen, but like that's where you would actually send or post your songs and then we go through them. But outside of that, McGill, what else I would do outside of just adding more elements to kind of go in and out? 9 times out of 10, the best thing you could do to make your stuff sound more expensive is to put in different moments or elements that aren't throughout the whole song, because it gives the again, anticipation of the listener something like to look forward to while they're going through the journey of your song. So doing stuff like that, maybe having the drums make some type of fill for the next 8 bars. Every 4 to 8 bars, usually have something different. Because if I went through the song and did the needle drop test, let's do that real quick. It's a longer song. That's okay. That makes sense. Most songs in sync are no longer than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So this would work for an artist track, but it might be a little more challenging to do with a track for sync. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Which sites would you recommend for distribution and or sync? Distribution and sync are kind of two different things. If you want the best of both worlds, sound on TikTok just became a thing, and I think they're offering like non-exclusive licenses to songs to pitch to brands that are already using TikTok, and they're splitting the cut or the upfront fees. I think it's 60-40 or something like that. 40 to them, 60% to you. So it's a pretty sweet deal. I checked them out. I think we already listened to A Kid. Yeah, this is the same song. So we're gonna keep moving here. We got Ebenezer, I guess how you would pronounce that. Let's go to Spotify, shall we? This is called Butterflies.
I messed up, can't control it. You got me feeling something. I can't let you go, I'm stuck with. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? No.
I didn't even catch that. This is explicit. So in order for you to submit a song, you got to make sure you have a clean version, because you couldn't hear this on a commercial, right? So we want to make sure that we keep everything clean. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Everlong. Good ear. How do you get in the sync licensing? You got to make sure that you're with a PRO. We talk about it in the class. Have a PRO, have good syncable music, have your metadata and things in place. There's a lot involved, but after you kind of get through it, it's all you got to do is make music. Essentially, what sync licensing is you're having the ability to pitch your music for TV placements, commercials, and things of that nature through music libraries that do that stuff for you. All you got to do is make music. It's pretty cool how it works. Awesome. Glad you're learning stuff. There's a lot more that is going on. Yes, I do read the YouTube chat. Funny. But yeah, there's a lot more information involved, especially on the legal side and how you get paid. We're doing a live class very, very soon. Okay, appreciate you coming through. Thanks. So yeah, that's how that situation works. But let's keep going. We got way more music. I do really like this, but you gotta have a clean version. Let's see. Would love to hear your thoughts on sync. Definitely different vibes from the most popular stuff on here. Yo, different is always good. Let's check this out. Hopefully it's clean. Just getting into it. This is cool. I like it. I'm not the biggest aficionado when it comes to mixing rock music, but like I would personally like to hear more of the awesome stuff you're doing on the toms. But outside of that, like this could easily be synced in, especially like those different game shows and things where they need to kind of up the energy and hype for something. It could easily be a sports placement. Like it would be too easy. Yeah, Call of Duty, video games would totally eat this up. I love the stuff on here. Just swap to here. I'm chill on here when it's 3 p.m. for you, because you said you would end them. Oh, 3 p.m. is like in 30 minutes. Good question. Could definitely hear this on a action or whatever commercial. Yeah, totally. Oh, that's my wife in there. I was like, what is that sound? Yeah, let's keep going. This is dope. I really like this. I just wish it was clean so I could listen to the rest of it. Have a clean version for this and then resubmit, because this is dope. I definitely think that anyone could find a home for something like this. I'd even like to make a trailer version of this just to make it even bigger. Be dope. But Rex, great job. I like it. I think we just listened to this. Never on My Own. Hold on, let me scroll up. Yep, it's right here. So Tender Murphy, we already heard your song. Let's move on to, we got a Dropbox. Okay, cool. Dropbox. Let's check it out. Does down-tempo R&B work well with sync? I would say yes. It just depends on where you're syncing it to. So that's those are strategies and things we talk about in the class as far as like where to find the right TV shows to pitch your, at least not pitch your music, but find the right TV shows that are using that kind of stuff. Then from there, we go through a process to find who the music supervisor was on that project and if they could use some other stuff like that. That's basically how it works. And there's a reverse engineer process that we do too. But let's check out this next one. This one's called Minga. I really like it. This is awesome. Hold on a second. Let me hear something real quick. Yo, this was dope. I really dig this. This is easily a sync placement where it comes with either what is it, the vibes on commercials or TV. This is dope. The only thing I would suggest, I wonder if the master could pull this stuff up a little bit more. Cause like this mug will go. It already does, but like we could push this even more for sure. As far as your mastering is concerned, but like I like the transitions. Your intro was a little long, I'm not gonna lie. You could have cut it in half and still had the same effects, and they would have just happened in quicker succession. That would, but I mean, honestly, like maybe make a shorter version, but this could work as is easily. Nice job on that. I gotta give it let's give it the frosty the frosty emoji. That was crazy. Great job, Hilbum. Let's go to the next one. How do I get to Spotify? There we go. Open. What we got?
All we are is lost. Nothing we could see. I haven't seen these faces in places before. There was nothing that I could ever do to change. There was nothing that I could ever do to change. I feel like I'm so high, I can touch the moon. And when I can't fly, I hold on to you. On your wings we flew. Sirens in my head. Can you hear them scream? No, I move my mouth, they don't make a sound. Am I in a dream? I feel like I'm so high, I can touch the moon.
this is very, very well produced. But this is built for Spotify. So shorten the intro, and I think that's pretty much it. You have a really, really cool voice. I like the texture in your voice. And I also really, really dig that your lyrics can fit in a couple different scenes. You know what I'm saying? With that, I think that this could easily sync if you had maybe a sync version. Because obviously, yeah, this one's a little bit long too at 3 minutes. Most songs, like if you listen to someone asked in the chat, how long is like the perfect length for, yo, Nikala, what up? I think that the perfect length for a song for sync is probably like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Because you're not going to get a placement longer than that unless it's like some type of drone on like, I don't know, a whodunit news series or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So like keep that stuff in mind, and that way, yeah, 2 minutes, 30 seconds is normally like what I see or what I aim for, depending on what the track is for. Like sometimes I'll do that for TV, but normally for like advertisements, my songs won't normally be longer than like 1:30, because like who wants to watch a commercial for 1:30? See what I'm saying? So keep that stuff in mind. It just depends on where you're intending for the song to go. Is the stem parts of the song or the song? The stems are what make the song. They're like the building blocks of a song. So you might have a stem lane with drums, a stems for bass, a stem for I don't know, a lead synth. And so like those are the parts that maybe if they like the song but they don't like this, the lead synth is in the way of the voiceover or the dialogue of a scene, they'll take that stem out, and now you just have drum and bass, and now they can do their thing and you get a placement. Ta-da! So it's pretty cool. Listen to a song of mine. Want to know if it's sync friendly? Send it to the Discord, because we got like 20 songs ahead of the next one we're gonna play, and we want to make sure that everybody gets a shot. So join the Discord. Link is in bio, and chia. Hopefully that helps. Let's keep going. John, nice job, bro. I like that song. That's a vibe. This one's by Tony Rosenberg, who I think was in the class last week. Shout out to him. And he's got one called Float. Let's check out this. Okay. I'll answer that in a second. Very cool. So, the sequence of what you've arranged here works for sync. 9 times out of 10, I have a lot harder time syncing something that has a slower tempo like this, but it does work for commercials that maybe want to have that kind of vibe. So this can work. Not saying that it wouldn't, but normally you have a lot of more high energy stuff that is being used for sync licensing, because they want to try to get people excited about said product or story. Let me see. Other than that, what I would probably suggest, let me check something, because I did have this down for the last one. Wonder what LUFS this is at. Yeah, it sounds a lot more full. It sounds a lot more full. So, I mean, mixing wise, I think it can work. it would just be a matter of making sure you got it into the right hand so that it could get synced. I can see this on micro syncs a lot. So check out like sites like MusicBed and Artlist. They would probably use this a lot more than a brand would at first glance. But I mean, there's a spot for everybody. We got a couple questions here. Do you have any artist placements or collabs you haven't shared? I have not shared any artist collabs as of yet because they're still yet to be released. They're industry release, but they're not like public release. So stay tuned for that kind of stuff. We'll have some of that stuff later down the year, hopefully. Let me see. Real ones remember when we proved that the Ableton drum rack affects the sound. Oh yeah, that was fun. Very, very cool. Are you explaining Sound On? We just talked about it actually. They are offering a deal right now for non-exclusive licenses. It's a great way to kind of get started with sync. Lost Official asks, realistically, how easy is it to get sync placements? It honestly depends on your workflow and the strategy you have behind it. Because the hardest part for me was actually getting into a library. After that, could nobody stop me? Because I'll make more tracks than anybody else just because like I was that determined to get my first one. You see what I'm saying? So as long as you're arranging your tracks the right way and are making bulk of them, especially if you're working with libraries, you're going to eventually get placed. It took me a year to figure that out. So like, hopefully that helps you guys. I wanted to make sure I had permission from you before I so Maz and I made some stuff for sync licensing that sounds pretty awesome. I'll share some of that with you guys. And it's like epic hip hop. And I'm showing you, if you're on not Discord, but on the YouTube, you can kind of see how I organize my music for sync licensing. And let's see, I'll play this one.
Dawn's up and my door shut, D&D so don't call up. A few missed meals, so what? Crunch time about to crawl up. I'm a force under big pressure, under pressure they frog us. If you coasting with a mediocre, then any over you cold luck. I've been about the grind though, got plenty of receipts too. My lower back tell me all the time what 12 hours on repeat dude. But can't stop when I don't got breaks, I've been putting in years dude. Ain't it funny how you get lucky when you work harder than your peers do.
Guess I'm lucky all day.
Guess what?
I guess I'm lucky all day. I guess I'm lucky all day. Know you wanna tell me that I'm lucky all day. Some call me king, others say I drew oasis. They think I picked up the crown from the pavement. Well, if I'm lucky, guess I'm lucky all day. Guess I'm lucky all day. Guess I'm lucky all day now. Everybody around me gets gold things. Call it coincidence or good omens. If I'm lucky, guess I'm lucky all day. Guess I'm lucky all day. Guess I'm lucky all day now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, this summer, hopefully, this gets picked up with a couple different licenses. But we're using the same tropes that we're talking about today. Like, you have the intro not being too much longer than about 15 seconds. It gets straight to the point, guns right out the gate, and it helps with the listener because the energy's there. So opposed to like what we were just listening to with Float, it might be hard to find places for this because a lot of times commercial has to have a lot of quick cuts and energy so that it can get the potential buyers excited about a product, whether that be a movie that they're releasing or I don't know, a new upgrade to your phone. So like that, those are the things you kind of have to think about. But it doesn't mean that it can't get synced. There's a place for everything. So keep that stuff in mind. We're going to keep going. I want to make sure everybody gets at least, I don't know if I'm going to get through the rest of these before the end of the day, but we will probably do another session next Friday to go through even more of this music. We got a lot in here, which is awesome. You guys keep making music. This is the biggest secret to sync licensing is that the bigger catalog you have, the quicker you can get to making a living off of it, because like the placements start to snowball. You see what I'm saying? So awesome job from everybody today. We got this one's called Siren Song from Anima Mir. Let's check them out.
My child, watch out for the creatures of this sea, for they are charming to men, but they will make you flee. Pray that you can escape, or they rip out your flesh. May your soul be blessed, or may it be ripped out and threshed. Welcome to the Siren Song.
Okay, Siren Song. Very cool. I think this could work for video games, but also with competition video games. Like, for instance, me and my wife was watching, what is it called? They have, like, you know how they had the Lego Master thing on Hulu last year? Now they're doing a domino one. And I think this would easily fit for the quirky stuff that sometimes they use to kind of build anticipation with like different competition TV shows. Totally. The other thing I would probably suggest that you do is go through the mix and master and make sure everything's super duper clear. Sometimes I felt my ears kind of squinting to hear other details that you had in this, which are really cool. I wish they would pop out a little bit more. So maybe if you worked with different like stereo imaging to kind of make sure that every element has its own space in your mix, it would make it a lot clearer. I always say this, a clear mix sounds louder than a loud mix. So keep that in mind. Your transitions seemed pretty good. You had buildups and things of that nature to kind of shove the listener in the right direction as far as listening to where we were going as far as the climax was concerned. So very cool, very cool. We got questions. Let me check the YouTube as well. Make sure I'm not missing on anything. Okay, cool. I have a song that hot a sync license with Valorant, and I'd want other opportunities for it. Okay, we'll send it through. Oh, you had a sync license with. How long is your publishing agreement? That's the first question I would ask, because normally if it's been 2 years and you haven't gotten anything else, you might be able to take it out and send it somewhere else. We talk about that in the class. Cool. Let's keep going. We got something Bruno Mars hip hop. Okay, Louis, let's see what you got. this works. The only thing that I would suggest is I think your clap is like dead center, and it kind of phases the click of your kick, if that makes any sense. So like, because the kick and the clap are kind of happening at the same time, it like takes away the impact or transient of the kick that needs to punch through the middle. So what I would do is maybe go back into your mix and maybe send the clap over to the side or spread it out a little bit and take a little bit out of the middle of your stereo field, and that would like it would open up everything. But like, as far as your arrangement, sounds really, really good. I think that it could be a little bit louder, but like the dynamics that you have are dope. Like, don't get me wrong, like the mix works, but like, I think you could push it even further. I'm not sure if you were making this for SoundCloud or for release on I don't know, Spotify, but like I would dare you to push it just to like pump the kick even louder so that it can have even more vibes. But I like this song a lot. Christopher said Old Navy commercial. I agree. This sync would be too easy. It's almost just a matter of time for this kind of stuff. Very cool. I like the bongos that you had in there too. Very, very cool addition. All right, awesome. Let's see here. We are on. Okay, we got 10 minutes left. I'm gonna try to power through some of these. We got a Dropbox link. Let's check this out. I hate Dropbox because my mouse doesn't act right with them. Oh, this was 5 minutes. I don't know if this would place, but let's listen to it anyway. Okay, so like, this is kind of eclectic and I like it, but I just feel like it could be condensed shorter. We almost listened to 2 minutes of it, and there's some other moments in here that are probably different. So like, I would compress and condense the structure down so that you could fit all these things in there and not lose the interest of the listener. Outside of that, I think that because of how different it is towards like what stuff that we normally hear on music and TV, music for TV and film, it might be a little harder to place, but it stands true to like its uniqueness, and sometimes that's what gets you the placement, and not because like you sound like everybody else. So I'd be interested if and when you pitch this, like if libraries would be interested in stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's got that 90s house breakbeat vibe, which is important for different shows that are like period pieces. And I mean, you'd be surprised how little of a catalog sometimes they'll have for stuff like that. Like, so for instance, when Drake was doing a bunch of his stuff with Noah 40 and they were like redoing a bunch of 90s samples, like it blew up a wave for it. But like after Stranger Things, at least from where I've seen, there became a huge explosion of stuff that was needed that had that 80s vibe. So like when it comes to doing stuff for sync, it's always safer to go with the status quo of what's going on that you hear on TV. But sometimes making specialized albums like that will help you get the foot in the door when it comes to going into a library, because they might not have stuff like this and they're like, oh, we need this. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you, after you get your deal, you can write whatever you want. So definitely things to consider. What time is it? Okay, I got a couple more minutes. Let's keep going. Cayenne Kicks. He's got something called Thinking About You. Let's check this out. Azur Zain is the artist name.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
You've been running and running around through my mind. You can make time stop on a dime, and you know it. And you know it. Baby, you don't even have to call. I'll be there to catch you when you fall. And you know it. And you know it. Just loving me, loving me, loving me like you do. Touching me, touching me, touching me, I touch you. I love you. Yeah, I love you. Just loving me, loving me, loving me like you do. Trusting me, trusting me, trusting me, I trust you. My lover. No one other. Oh, oh. You're my queen and I won't change. You look so fine when you walk. Baby, looking at your face, 'cause I love it when you talk and you know it.
Okay, cool. The lyrics are kind of what's the word? Not restrictive, but they kind of are on. They're only one flavor. What I mean by that is that normally when you write, especially, I always suggest that artists, when they're writing lyrics, to make sure that the lyrics are vague enough that they can be used in different settings. So if you're writing something about love, like, I suggest that you always keep it like more platonic, so that you can talk about love for a girlfriend, you can talk about love over a breakup, you can talk about love over family, or even love of a product. You see what I'm saying? There's all kinds of things that love can kind of encompass if you're vague enough and general enough to have it fit there. That way you can make multiple placements off of that one song, and that's always the goal. So outside of that, arrangement would need to be a little bit shorter. And then what I would suggest you do, I'm not sure if you had a live guitar player, but I would suggest maybe a little variation so that the guitar doesn't feel like a loop. That will just cause your production to sound more expensive. But other than that, I think this could totally work for sync in specific circumstances, especially for TV. So great job. Awesome. We got time for like one more. Let's go back to the Discord. Who we got last? Disappointing not to get played, but love the... Okay, well, guess what? We're going to play yours now. Hold on. Did we already play this one? Waiting for You? Yeah, we just played that. Okay, cool. Awesome. Pauly Beats Wonderland. Let's check it out. What I would suggest for this would be to add more transitions and then possibly a lead line. And the only reason I suggest using a lead line is because the piano, I don't think the piano's copy paste as far as MIDI is concerned, but it could be, and that wouldn't. I would suggest not to have that happen. Copy paste normally, when it comes to production, is the devil. We don't like to do that. So you want to add some type of human inconsistencies that would help to lead or grow the compositional arc of this track. I would. Outside of that, I mean, it's a decent song. It could easily be placed, especially on a some type of, not cinematic, but it's evergreen in the fact that, like, if there's something that a scene in a TV show that requires remorse or something nostalgic, like, this could work for it. All I would ask for is maybe some type of lead melody line. It could be a synth, it could be something on the piano, and it would cause this song to have a lot more direction when it comes to, like, kind of developing something over time. Other than that, great job. Oh, and the bass. That was the other thing. I should start writing these notes down. The bass, I would suggest to have more saturation so we could hear it a lot clearer. Because sometimes, especially if you're using like an 808 or something like that, or just a sine wave, when you get lower than a certain point, it's hard for the human ears to hear. And, like, if I was listening to this on a TV, like, I wouldn't be able to hear the bass at all. So, because TV speakers don't normally push out that kind of air that low. So keep that in mind. When we're making stuff for sync licensing, remember where it's getting heard. Just like with Spotify, normally when we master, it's to make sure it sounds great on all platforms, right? So with sync, you got to make sure it sounds good on TV, which means that your bass, if you want people to actually hear the bass, it's got to have quite some saturation on it so that it can be heard. Maybe we'll do a video on that coming up pretty soon. But anyways, guys, there's always heat in here. This is awesome. I'm going to give this the time emoji so we know where to start next week. But if you guys have any other questions, whether it's in regard to sync licensing, music theory, whatevs, I got you. Just let me know how I can help. I read all my comments. And until next time, peace. And since I said until next time, hit the outro.